About that, B, we have talked the talk all week. It is time to walk the walk here at the Don Haskins Center as we are underway. UTEP controls the tip, and they will get it started offensively with David Terrell. Otis Frazier now top of the key, gets a screen from Kalu. This is Barnes, elbow jumper off the mark, and the rebound goes to New Mexico State.
I like that little high ball screen action for Frazier, trying to get him started early and get him a chance to attack in some isolations. A good look.
This is Jackson running the point here for the Aggies. He finds Cook, who is guarded by Camper.
They've got to stay attached. They cannot lose Cook.
This is Jackson with 10 on the shot clock, driving against Terrell. He'll kick it back out. This is Bostic now, who will jack up a three, and it is good.
Contested three, under pressure, knocked down a big shot.
Deontay Bostic with a hand in his face opens the scoring here at the Don. This is Camper, gets a screen from Kalu. Now Frazier. Frazier working against Filipovic. Be really interesting to see how the Aggies match up against the Miners in this one, and vice versa, as Otis Frazier puts up a three, and it goes begging. Rebound to Cook.
Good unselfishness on that possession by the Miners. Moved the basketball around, got a pretty decent look, just didn't go down.
There it was, Shimanga looking to get it inside to Filipovic.
And that's the Miners' first deflection.
Let's get into our keys of the game, Bobby. What does UTEP have to do in this game?
Just like I just mentioned, we just saw it. UTEP's got to run them off the three-point line. They cannot give those guys a chance to knock down those threes, open threes like that. And then secondly, they've got to limit shots.
Look out
there
below!
Goes Frazier. Oh! Blew a tire.
Otis Frazier, what happened?
Blew a tire on that one. I was about to hit him with there goes Frazier.
Yeah, Filipovic goes up and is going to draw the foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot too. It did look like Frazier went up, just didn't get in the air under that jump.
Little nerves. This is a big game. Sellout crowd. First time he's probably played in front of a crowd like this, and that's all right. He's going to be okay. But great defensive pressure on that end with the deflection and the steal. Easy opportunity.
This guy has been huge for New Mexico State, especially with what they've been able to do through their last 5 games, a 5-game winning streak. Of course, Peter Filipovic dealt with an injury earlier in the season. He's just now getting going, and at the right time, averages just under 12 points per game and a little over 7 rebounds per game.
He's their hard hat guy. He's the guy that does dirty work on the inside. Even though he's undersized a little bit, he's still a stud down there.
As we are about to get to some keys to the game, a steal here from Bostic, and he gets it up and under for 2, and New Mexico State out to an early 6-0 lead. What are those keys for the Aggies here, Bobby?
The Aggies have to control the pace of the game. I know they like to run, get it up and down the floor, but they got to be careful because the Miners are averaging about 16.5 points a game in transition. So they got to control the pace, and then secondly, they've got to defend without fouling. They're one of the teams that leads the nation in the top 10 in the nation in fouls committed, and that would play right into the Miners' hands, giving them free shots like that.
12,000 expected here at the Don Haskins Center, but this is a New Mexico State team that has played against some big crowds in the past. Of course, a sellout crowd they played in front of against Dayton. They played in front of a sellout crowd in Albuquerque against New Mexico. Of course, they ended up winning that game in overtime and also played a game at Texas this year. So you're going to get a charge there on Filipovic. Aggies turn it over.
David Terrell gets one of those. Seems like he gets at least gets that one time a game, and that's a great defensive possession. He knows what Filipovic's trying to do. He's not a scorer on the perimeter. He's going to try to get as close to the basket as he can. Great defense, great wall.
Inbound goes all the way up the court here with Camper. Camper trying to push the tempo here. Now he's going to have to kick it out to Terrell. Terrell steps back, and he'll reset the offense with 20 on the shot clock.
Miners don't want to have to operate in half court all the time. So
Camper in the lane, 2 off the window.
Good luck. Camper gives the too small sign there, but good penetration to the basket. Great finish.
Miners on the board, 6-2 in the opening 3 minutes of this 225th edition of the Battle of I-10. Filipovic, corner 3, and it is short. The rebound here to the Miners.
And the Miners will pay him to shoot that shot. He's only shooting 21% from the 3, and that's the shot that they want to give up.
Miners swinging around now, a 3 ball from Devin Barnes, and he connects.
That's the guy. He's knocked down at least 2 threes the last 6 basketball games, and they've won every game. If he can get another couple 2-3 downs, it could be good news for the Miners.
Some early action here in this one as we have reached the 16.5-minute mark. This is Jackson. Now to Cook, who will fire his first 3 of the game. It goes back in, rebound to Frazier. Frazier trying to push the ball up the floor and will throw it away.
Frazier's jacked up. He's excited about this game and nerves and everything else. But again, the Miners need to stay attached. They got to stay attached to Cook as much as they can. And I thought Corey did a good job chasing him off that screen there and making him curl under some pressure.
Bobby, this is a rivalry, of course, that you've been a part of as a coach. What makes this rivalry different from other ones that you've kind of experienced in Division I basketball?
They're only 41 miles apart. I mean, that's like the neighbor next door who has the leaf blower blowing in your window all the time and irritating you. So both these teams just want to shut the other one up.
Miners turning it over for, turning the Aggies over, that is, and they're going to turn it over themselves as Camper throws it away. And we have reached the under 16-minute mark with the Aggies out to an early lead here in the early going. Aggies scored the first 6 points of this game. Miners have scored the last 5 points of this game, and maybe some early nerves here, Bobby, in the first 4 minutes of play, as you have 7 total turnovers, 4 of them from UTEP, 3 of them from New Mexico State.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Little nerves going on right now, but they'll settle in as the game settles in a little bit. Again, you just have to focus on doing the things that you're supposed to be doing on both ends of the floor. For the Miners, they got to lock in defensively. I think I've only counted they've only had 1 deflection at this point. They've got to get those active hands going again, get out in the passing lane, and get some easy buckets. And for New Mexico State, again, they've got to be smart, control the pace, and get the shots they want. And that's getting the ball to their big guys, their big shooters.
Jason Hooten, head coach for the Aggies, talked a lot about it this week, taking care of the basketball. This is a UTEP team that turns over everyone in the country as Cook takes a 3. It is off the mark, but the offensive rebound here to the Aggies. Now it's Bostic on the wing.
Yeah, UTEP got away with one there. Cook had a wide open look there.
There is a baseline jumper that is tipped out of bounds and will go to the Miners.
Yeah, they lost him on a baseline double stagger screen, got stuck on a screen, and he had a wide open look and just didn't knock it down.
Miners, as I mentioned, turn their opponents over a lot. Jason Hooten talked about that a lot. They got to take care of the basketball. And then, of course, on the defensive end of the floor, they got to stop that man, 23, Otis Frazier. Done a good job of that early going here. This is Terrell to Frazier. Frazier from the elbow now. He nearly loses it. Ball is loose. Miners able to keep possession with 5 on the shot clock. Terrell's got to put it up. Instead, it's Frazier for 3, and he connects.
That's the toughest shot he's had, and he knocks it down. Again,
yeah.
Shot clock running down. All right, just kind of takes the pressure off a little bit, knocks it down.
It's an 8-0 run for the Miners here.
And again, starts with the defense. See if they can get another stop.
Trying to go inside now. It's Filipovic now.
Him.
Top of the key. He goes to a knee.
Looks like he traveled, got away with one.
And there you got the easy jump shot there made. That is Robert Carpenter with his first points of the game.
And Carpenter is a guy who could be starting for any team in this conference. He's coming off the bench to kind of give him some help off the bench, but they got to find him.
Camper off the mark with his shot. Carpenter the rebound. Up ahead to Cook.
Cook and Carpenter, boy, that's a combination there. They're going to have.
There's Carpenter, no call, and it's 2 off the window. Miners wanted the charges. Camper was in position, no whistle, and Carpenter has the easy 2.
Comes in the game, 2 for 2 from the floor already. He's a guy the Miners can't lose.
This is Terrell taking it. Strong take there for David Terrell.
Nice drive, nice attack, found a little seam, attacked the rim, little shot, a little pass fake to the corner guy. Got the defender off balance.
We're tied at 10. Expecting this one to be a close game. Of course, when you have any rivalry game, you can pretty much throw everything out the window. These two teams know each other, as there's a strong take by Christian Cook. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Exactly. It's just one of those things where your scout tells you who the 2 key guys are, and Carpenter and Cook are those guys. You got to try to shut them down.
And of course, this is a guy the Aggies got to keep an eye on too, as Frazier takes another 3, and he is true.
I think he's found his legs, Andy. I think he's found his legs. He's settling in.
2 for his last two is Otis Frazier from deep. He's got 6 points.
All right, let's see if the Miners can sit down and keep the ball in front.
Cook has it to Bostic.
Again, notice all the movement, Cook movement on the baseline. He got his campers, got to stay locked in on him.
And he's going to lose him here. Cook, strong take. Frazier, good D, no call. Filipovic, the offensive rebound and the putback.
Second shot, you play a pretty good defensive possession. You got to put a body on somebody and box out. Kalu had to come over and help, and Filipovic ends up with the offensive rebound and bucket.
14-13, New Mexico State leads it. 12.5 play to play here in this opening half. To Terrell. Terrell on the wing. Frazier, heat check, off the mark.
Definitely was a heat check. Ball's got to move a little bit more. Stayed on one side of the floor that whole possession.
This is Bostic inside to Filipovic, gets his defenders off the ground, goes up with it, draws the foul, and he will shoot another 2 from the line.
Got to stay down on Filipovic. He's a guy who loves to use the shot fake, get you up in the air and get you off balance. Just wall him up.
Yeah,
he's only 6'7". Wall him up, make him shoot over you.
3 Miners leaving their feet on that one. Peter Filipovic, 6'7", graduate senior out of Hungary. .68% free throw shooter on the season, makes the front end.
Trey Horton comes in the game for the Miners, and maybe he can loosen it up a little bit from the outside.
Got Trey Horton, Ahmad Bynum, Kalu, Terrell, and Barnes on the floor for the Miners. I believe we're going to have Shimanga will check in for Filipovic. And that is Nate Shimanga. You got 2 Shimangas here on this New Mexico State team, brothers out of Montreal, Quebec.
Aggies picking up pressure, a little bit 3/4 court, giving them something to think about.
This is Terrell, top of the key, trying to get it inside there to Derek Hamilton, just a little too far for his outstretched arms.
Good idea, good idea. Just a little bit off on the connection. Threw it out a little bit too early, too much for him.
We have hit the under 12 media timeout. New Mexico State with a 3-point lead here at the Dawn.
Hey guys, well the Miners in the first 10 minutes of this first half, the Miners have been making a lot of minor mistakes, but I have to mention the crowd because that could play a role in how excited the Miners are. They haven't had a crowd like this in over 9 years, and I feel like I'm screaming at the top of my lungs because that's just how loud it is. But we're gonna take a look behind me at the fans, you guys. Again, this is UTEP's first sellout game in 9 years. Just take a look around. All the seats are completely filled. Now, I have never noticed this in my time here in the city of El Paso, but this just goes to show how excited fans are for this UTEP and NMSU basketball team.
B, thank you, that's right. You have a large UTEP contingency, no doubt about that, but also a lot of fans from Las Cruces making the 41-mile trek to see their New Mexico State Aggies play in this game as well. This is Christian Cook, and an easy 2 there for him.
Yeah, they just got a high ball screen at the top. Derek Hamilton didn't get out and show, didn't do anything off that ball screen. He was able to turn the corner and get downhill.
Right now it's a 6-0 run for the Aggies. Kicks it out to Barnes. Barnes, floater in the lane, draws the contact and the foul, and Barnes will go to the line to shoot 2.
That's a great play by Barnes. Just put his head down, attack the paint, force New Mexico State to step up and guard him, and Cook had his hands on him all the way to the basket.
Just 2 team fouls for both of these teams right now, as Devin Barnes, the 6'1" junior guard, transfer out of Tarleton State, misses the front end. 69% for the season from the stripe.
Remember what I said earlier, New Mexico State is one of the top 10 teams in the country in fouls committed, and so far they've been defending pretty good without fouling.
Barnes goes 1 of 2 on that trip. Here come the Aggies with Gabe Pickens, the freshman, checking in, running the point here. This is Cook. Once again, you got Corey Camper on Cook. Real interesting matchup there. And that ball nearly stolen.
Hamilton did a better job on the ball screen up top. Didn't allow Cook to get downhill.
This is Pickens. Pickens with 5 on the shot clock, and then a late foul is going to be called there against Horton. Late in the shot clock, just 4 seconds on the shot clock when that foul was committed.
It looks like they're trying to get Derek Hamilton involved in ball screens every opportunity they can so they can try to get downhill on him. He's going to have to, either he's playing drop coverage or he's going to have to get out there and hedge a little bit harder on those ball screens up high.
So it's a fresh 20 seconds on the shot clock for the Aggies. This is Cook now, back to Pickens. Top of the key, gets a screen inside, and a great looking feed there from Pickens. Pickens finds Shimanga for the dunk.
Again, Derek Hamilton involved in the ball screens. He's having a difficult time getting back to his man. He's got to get a little help on the weak side there too.
6-point lead here for the Aggies. This is Bynum, as he will work the offense. Gets a screen. Wanted a screen there from Hamilton, ends up losing the basketball, and the Aggies have numbers. Cook will pull up from 3, and it's off the mark. Rebound goes to the Aggies, tipped back and no. And now the Miners coming the other way with numbers. This is Devin Barnes, lay-in, no good, but will go to the line to shoot 2.
Whew, boy, I tell you what, again, Cook ends up with a wide open 3 after the turnover at the top of the key. Doesn't knock it down, but Devin Barnes he's just the man. He's playing tough, he's playing hard. He's attacking the rim when he can attack the rim, and he's drawing fouls. You got to step up to the line, knock down free throws.
Nearly had a opportunity at a 3-point play there. As you saw the foul called against Pickens. Barnes makes the first. And now you got Filipovic, Jackson, and Bostic all checking back in for the Aggies. For the Miners, you got Thomas checking in. Frazier's back in there as well.
I'll tell you what, Miners are fortunate really to be down by 5, maybe 4 at this point, because they've lost Cook on a couple of opportunities and he just has missed the shot. 4-point game though.
Barnes makes both from the free throw line. Aggies lead it 20-16.
KJ Thomas is in, put a little bit more pressure on the ball, see if he can keep the ball in front of him.
So for the Aggies, they have a freshman guard, and of course, Gabe Pickens. Miners have a freshman guard of their own in KJ Thomas. This is Filipovic against Frazier, trying to kick it out, and a good deflection there from Barnes.
Good help. Good look, Barnes on the weak side. Filipovic tried to turn baseline. Kalu was there to help on the double. Kicked it out, almost threw it out of bounds.
You got 11 on the shot clock when the Aggies inbounded here to Filipovic.
Stay down on him, he can't.
Filipovic pulls up from 3, and it's off the mark. The rebound, though, pulled down by Jaden Harris.
Got a mismatch on the inside. They got the 7-footer on the inside with Corey Camper stuck on him.
Aggies trying to figure out a way to get him the basketball. Instead, Jackson gets his man up in the air. That's Thomas who will be called for the foul.
Yeah, the Miners are a little amped up here, and they're going for all these shot fakes and getting themselves out of position. Got to just settle in, wall it, keep the ball in front of you, and then wall it up when he gets in the lane.
Be Zadi Jackson, 6-foot senior guard out of Stone Mountain, Georgia, who will shoot 2 from the free throw line. 81% for the season from the stripe. He misses the front end.
And he's their assist guy. He's their point guard distributor. He's at a 3-to-1 assist turnover ratio. So they're not expecting to get a lot of offense out of him. So just stay down, make him shoot over a wall.
Jackson distributing the basketball at a high level, came into this game averaging nearly 4.5 assists per game, as he makes the second, goes 1 of 2 on that trip to the line. 21-16, New Mexico State leads it.
A little double drag screen action at the top by the Miners.
This is Camper. Camper getting inside, turnaround jumper, no. Rebound, Filipovic.
Got to get back, find him in transition.
This is Filipovic in the corner. Has it to Harris, back to Filipovic. Filipovic, good backdoor cut there from Jackson. Somehow Jackson able to keep that ball inbounds, and then it's blocked by Frazier. Out of bounds it goes, so it'll stay with the Aggies, but good closeout there from Frazier.
What a play. What an energy play. Those are the kind of plays that can get the Miners going here. Looked like he was going to have a wide open look there, and Frazier came out of nowhere and smacked it.
Also, really good job by Jackson somehow keeping that ball in bounds on the baseline. I don't know how he did it. Jackson from the elbow. Again, 5 on the shot clock.
Good defense on ball.
Bostic's got to get this one up from the elbow. I don't think he knows. Didn't realize, and referees are actually letting them play there. I thought that was a shot clock violation. Instead, it ends up being Zadie Jackson for an easy 2. Joe Golding on the Miners bench doesn't like it.
Yeah, that should have been a stop. The shot clock ran out, and they let him play it through.
Dead ball at that point.
Should have been a dead ball.
This is Camper for 3. Off the mark, and the rebound is pulled down there by Shimanga. This is Bostic now.
Get settled in. See if the Miners can get settled in and get a couple stops here in a row.
This is now Filipovic on the baseline, puts the ball on the floor, skip past to Bostic, who is able to corral it. Trying to go back inside to Shimanga, no open lane for him. Bostic instead is going to do it himself. Nope, he's going to dish it to Filipovic, who has 2 off the glass. And all of a sudden, that Aggie lead now 25-16.
Again, penetration to the paint, forcing defenders to step up, and then you just dump it off to your big guy underneath the basket.
This is Frazier putting his head down, trying to get to the lane. Instead, he's going to turn it over. Foot touched the baseline, so it'll be New Mexico State basketball when we return. Aggies have their largest lead of the game in this one. They lead by 9 with 7.5 to play in the opening half.
Well, during warm-ups, I did see NMSU. The NMSU Aggies, that team, they were laughing during warm-ups. They were having a good old time. Now, as for UTEP, they were just tunnel vision. They were locked in. And right now, I think it's starting to show. NMSU is just here. They're playing some ball, but the UTEP Miners are playing a bit timid. Now, I did see Coach Golding tell his players to calm down. And Otis Frazier, who's one of the leaders of this UTEP team, in the huddle, I heard him just tell them, hey, guys, we got this. They just need to start playing controlled basketball. Now, NMSU is doing a good job attracting defenders, which is then leaving a weak side man open, and that's how NMSU has been able to capitalize off UTEP errors. So UTEP will definitely have to pick up on that if they want to close this gap here in the first half.
B, thank you very much. Yeah, Miners maybe pressing it a little bit with those 7 first half turnovers. Comparatively only turned over the Aggies 3 times, which is something they're not used to. They're used to turning over their opponents. 5 on the shot clock for Barnes. He's got to go. Gets the screen from Kalu, puts up the 3 from the parking lot, and it's off the mark, and the rebound goes to Bostic, to Filipovic.
You have to give the Aggies credit. They're doing a great job on the defensive end of the floor. Miners aren't getting any easy looks at the basket.
Cross court pass to Jaden Harris. Can't get the friendly roll. And you got a foul on the floor. That's going to go against Frazier, working against Emmanuel Shimanga.
Yeah, he's working against a 7-foot guy. Tried to move him out, couldn't move him out, wrapped him underneath, as you can see right here. His arm, one arm wrapped him. Referees made a good call.
You got Christian Cook checking back in for the Aggies. Ahmad Bynum is back in there for the Miners. Inbound goes to Filipovic. He goes baseline on the block, puts up the shot, no. Rebound, Kalu.
Gonna push it up a little bit.
This is Terrell, top of the key. Trying to attack here. He's gonna have to get the ball out. Instead, he's gonna have a near turnover. Ball is on the floor, and you're gonna have a jump ball.
Way to get to the floor, both guys. Get on the floor, loose ball. Big game, big possession.
Possession arrow points to the Aggies. 9-point lead for the Aggies. Miners are on a scoring drought of 3.5 minutes plus.
Again, they just have to settle in. They're pressing a little bit. They have to settle in and let the game come. Starts with their defense.
0 for their last 4 from the floor.
Starts with their defense.
This is Cook. Cook in the lane. Floater, no. Offensive rebound goes to the Aggies. Back up with it. Drawing the foul is Jaden Harris, and he'll shoot 2.
Again, what do we say? A defensive possession, a good defensive possession doesn't end until you box out and grab the rebound. And the Miners did everything right there, made Cook take a tough shot, but they didn't put a body. You can see both guys from the Aggies are wide open underneath the rim, and that ball's on the ball's up.
It's really standing out right now. I mentioned the turnovers, 8 for UTEP, 3 for New Mexico State, but how about the disparity in rebounding right now, which is something Coach Golding told us before this game was something that was going to keep him up at night, was rebounding the basketball. Aggies have 15 total rebounds to the Miners 6, and of those 15 rebounds, 7 of them on the offensive glass for the Aggies.
Again, that was the key to the game. The Miners needed to limit second shots by boxing out. And right now, they're not doing a good job of it.
Terrell trying to attack there, and he's off the mark. Filipovic the rebound. And here come the Aggies on the other end to Jackson. Jackson, mid-range jumper, you bet.
That's right. Right now, the Miners are just trying to find a way to score, and everybody's trying to put their head down and attack. They got to keep working together, keep playing together, move the ball from side to side.
Frazier had an open shot from deep. He decided to pass that one up, and instead will draw contact on the foul there called against Jackson. 13-point lead here for the Aggies. Their largest lead of the game continues to grow.
It's hard to get a good shot when the ball stays on one side of the floor. The defense doesn't have to rotate. Defense doesn't have to make any adjustments. They just lock in.
Inbound goes to Frazier.
See if they can move the ball.
Jump hook with the right hand was Terrell. He'll draw contact and he'll shoot 2.
And that's the advantage Terrell has. He has a size advantage on some of the little guards that guard him. So he's got to get down there and muscle up a little bit and get to the free throw line.
David Terrell in that guard position, 6'4". So one of the bigger guards on this team, a sophomore from Dallas, Texas, played his high school basketball at Mansfield Summits, and he misses the first free throw. Free throws have been an issue for Terrell this season, just 58% from the line.
Yeah, if he's going to go down there and post up and go down there and work, he's got to finish and pay it off with free throws when he gets that chance to do that.
Terrell misses them both. Miners just 3 of 6 from the line tonight. Deontay Bostic has it across the time strip. Filipovic, top of the key now to Cook. Cook trying to get it inside and rejected there. That was Carpenter trying to go inside, and he was denied by a host of Miners, including Kalu.
Yeah, Kalu and Otis got to it. It looks like Kalu's the one with the block.
7 seconds showing on the shot clock here when Bostic will inbound it. See what head coach Jason Hooten and the Aggies drop here. It's to Carpenter. Carpenter for 3. Bang!
Gotta stay attached. What a shot from the big fella. 6'7", steps out behind the 3 and knocks it down.
Aggies, a 12-0 run over the last 4.5. Miners got to get a score. It's Ahmad Bynum for 3, and he answers the call.
Just what they needed. Just what they needed. Now let's see if they can get one of those kills. We talked about it last game. Can you get 3 stops in a row? 3 consecutive stops.
Miners got to turn it on defensively. This is Bostic with 15 on the shot clock. Inside to Filipovic. Filipovic bullying his way inside. Ball is tipped out, and the Aggies have another offensive rebound.
Another offensive rebound.
This is Bostic, strong take. Looking for the foul, doesn't get it. Terrell the rebound. And the Miners trying to get in transition here.
There's your first stop.
Frazier from the corner to Bynum for 3. Too long. And skying high for the rebound is Harris.
That's all right. That's okay. Didn't make the bucket, but you got to stop to see if they can get a second stop.
Under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. A 13-point Aggie lead. Bostic to Carpenter. Carpenter shot fake, has an open look for 3. Off the mark, Filipovic all by himself underneath the basket. Offensive rebound and the putback.
Well, I tell you right now, that's the game. Right now, the Miners are just getting beat bad on second shots. They've got to do a better job of boxing out and fighting for rebounds.
Second chance points for the Aggies coming in clutch right now. Terrell This is now Camper on the block. Tries to go high off the glass and does. Good looking shot there for Corey Camper on the turnaround.
A lot of one-on-one going on right now, though. A lot of isolation stuff. Got to get the basketball moving, try to get downhill. Again, the crowd's calling for defense to see if the Miners can get a stop.
Bostic, 15 on the shot clock to Cook. Cook will back away from pressure being applied by Bynum. Gets a screen now, you see the switch. Now Camper on Cook with 4 on the shot clock inside to Carpenter. Carpenter trying to go up with it, does just at the buzzer. And Carpenter has 2 more.
God, you have to give it to the Aggies. They're very patient offensively. They're getting the shots they want. Even with the shot clock down low, they still were able to get a shot in the paint.
This is Ahmad Bynum, one of the leaders in the country when it comes to three-point shooting. Frazier now going to draw contact and the foul, and that'll take us to our final media timeout of the opening half. It's a 15-point Aggie lead, 36-21 our score here at the Dawn. A 15-point lead for New Mexico State, who leads in just about every statistical category that is meaningful when it comes to a box score. Points off of turnovers, they lead it 8-2. Points in the paint, they lead it 20-6. Second chance points, they lead 10-0. Fast break points, they lead 7-0. And points off the bench, 13 to the Miners 3. This is stuff that we've seen UTEP do all season long. They're tops when it comes to fast break points and turning over their opponents. That stuff just not happening right now for the Miners.
Well, I tell you what, the biggest stat for me is the rebounding stat. Right now, the Miners are getting out-rebounded 21-7. They've given up 10 offensive rebounds. And again, those are toughness plays. That signifies toughness. So the Miners are going to have to step it up right now.
You're going to get a foul called here before the ball is even inbounded on New Mexico State.
Just to finish that thought, the Miners they're going to have to change what's going on the boards right now if this game is going to change in their direction.
That foul was called on Jaden Harris, and the Miners in the bonus will shoot 1 and 1 here.
Got to knock down free throws.
Corey Camper misses the first. The offensive rebound does go to Elijah Jones, and the Miners have a fresh 20 on the shot clock.
First offensive rebound come from a guy coming off the bench.
Good
and
take.
Elijah Jones, great play.
Good take there from David Terrell Jr.
Elijah Jones' athleticism can make a difference on the boards, and we saw it right there.
Miners shooting just 3 of 7 from the line right now. Certainly something to keep an eye on as this game progresses. A near steal there for Terrell. Instead, it's Bostic with an open look, and he airballs it. However, Aggie's able to come up with it.
They got to pursue the ball. They can't just stand there and watch it when shot goes up.
Shot clock didn't reset, so you got 2 on the shot clock. Cook's got to get it up. He doesn't know it, and it's going to be a shot clock violation.
Great defensive possession by the Miners. Great job, David Terrell. It started off, they blitzed Cook on the ball screen on the wing. Kind of shook him up a little bit, surprised him a little bit. They got what they wanted defensively. Got to stop.
You got 90 seconds here with the Miners trailing by 13, trying to get a spark here to go into the half. Terrell, tough take, and just too strong with it. Devin Barnes, the offensive rebound. Back out to Terrell. Horton for 3. Off the mark. Offensive rebound to Camper. Camper now has it. Gets it to Barnes for 3. And it goes begging. Trey Horton, the offensive rebound. Now is Terrell. Head down to the glass and an easy 2 off the window.
What did I say, Andy? It had to change on the boards. And right now the Miners are attacking the offensive glass, giving themselves a chance to get back in this ball game.
He had 3 straight offensive rebounds there for the Miners, and they finally are able to get the 2, and a timeout called here by New Mexico State with 48 seconds to play in the half and an 11-point lead.
I tell you what, you can think that the missed shots is a big deal, but the biggest deal is the fact that the Miners are attacking the offensive glass the way they are, and they're working. And it all started when Elijah Jones coming in the game. Trey Horton stepping up again. He's a guy not known for his rebound ability, But these are just hustle plays. These are just plays you got to make if you want to win a basketball game. And right now, that group that was just on the floor is doing that.
David Terrell, a real nice job finding the opening in the defense. You take a look at some of our top performers here today. It's been all Peter Filipovic, 9 points, 5 rebounds, doing what he's been doing. At least better part of the last couple weeks back from injury.
I think Coach Golden's trying to send a message to his other guys by playing this group right now. And this group has stepped up and given them some energy. Let's see what they can do this last 45 seconds to the half. The crowd's in it now.
Yes, they are. This is Bostic trying to take it himself, leaning into David Terrell and gets 2 off the window.
That's just nice strength, pure strength. A nice play under control. Got in close and kissed it off the glass.
About a 5-second differential here between the game clock and the shot clock. As Barnes works against Bostic, gets the screen from Kalu, nearly loses the handle. Now it's to Horton. Horton in the corner now has Camper. And with 10 on the shot clock, Miners will look to reset. Camper trying to get in the lane. Turnaround jumper is off the mark. 7 seconds, 6 seconds on the game clock. Here comes Bostic up the floor, 3 seconds. Ball is on the floor now, and that is how the first half will come to an end.
Great hustle there, getting on the floor, Trey Horton.
An action-packed first 20 minutes in this Conference USA Showdown, the 225th edition in the Battle of I-10. And New Mexico State finds themselves with a 13-point advantage at the half. They lead it 38-25. Let's go to B. Martinez.
All right, Coach, the guys started off a bit shaky there, making minor mistakes, but in the end there, they started to build some momentum. What's going to be key for them to build up?
We're just getting out tough. Got out tough the whole first half. They're the tougher team, there's no question. We got our butt kicked on the glass. We're sloppy with the basketball. We're not good defensively. We're not good offensively. We're trying to do too much one-on-one.
What adjustments need to be made here?
We got to play UTEP basketball, right? We got to get back to us and play our style basketball.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, guys, back to you.
B, thank you very much. You hear Coach Golding talk about playing their style basketball. It's been anything but that in this opening half. New Mexico State leads at 38-25 at the half. Of course, New Mexico State had big win earlier in the season at New Mexico, a game that they came from behind to get a 6-point win in overtime. Then they lost to a very good Texas team at Texas, and then that is when the Aggies have reeled off 5 straight. So 5 straight wins, winners of 6 of their last 7, and a 2-0 start to conference play. Trying to make it 3-0 and certainly looking good at this point with a 13-point lead at half. But you heard Jason Hooten say it's a long basketball game. He knows better than anyone this Miners team is capable of erasing a 13-point deficit just like that.
Yes, they are. 20 minutes to play. Again, it just starts with getting some defensive stops and then doing what you want to do on the offense and not letting the other team dictate.
Miners control the inbound here to start off the second half, and quickly inside it goes to Camper, working against Bostic in the lane, right hand, no. Ball tipped around, and it's going to be an offensive rebound for Frazier. Back out to Camper.
That's a good sign. They've got 1 offensive rebound already to start the half.
Devin Barnes inside, rejected, but you're going to get a foul, and Barnes hit the ground hard.
Wow. He took a shot there, and the guy fell right on top of him, too.
The foul was called on Jackson, but then you also had Shamanga closing in.
That was like a WWE body slam right on top of him there. Barnes, a tough kid, bounces up.
He's an El Paso kid, right?
There you go. El Paso strong.
Devin Barnes steps up to the line, and the Miners struggled in that opening half from the free throw line as he makes the first. Just 3 of 7 from the line were the Miners in that opening half. Got to make the freebies, and good start there for Barnes. He makes both of them.
There you go. Start with a stop, and it's starting with some full court pressure. Now, the base, Filipovic can't run. He can't move on the baseline. So this is a good opportunity for the Miners to get a steal or a knockdown here.
Have a whistle. They're pointing at the
I think they want to move the shot clock to 29.
There you go.
All right, let's see what the Miners can do here.
The inbound will go to Bostic, who corrals it and has it across half court, and the Aggies will set up their offense. Bostic now going straight to the rack, and a strong take for Deontay Bostic.
And then he gives the two little sign.
Just like that, Bostic also with 9 points in this one. This is Frazier nearly loses the handle. Cross-court pass, this is Terrell. Terrell gets the screen from Kalu. Inside goes Terrell. Trying to finish with the right hand and the flip up and in for two.
Again, shots in the paint. They've attacked, they've gotten 2 shots in the paint so far. Got to give the Aggie defense a lot of credit. They're taking out the Miners out of what they want to run.
Yep.
They've done it all game.
They've played on their time. Jackson, easy two. What a pass there from the big man, Emmanuel Shamanga.
I'm going to tell you what, I know what happened. They talked about it at halftime. They knew UTEP was going to pick the pressure up a little bit, so they went to a pressure release, little backdoor action.
That was a great feed to Kalu, who was unable to finish. Missed the gimme.
Again, another paint shot, though.
Turning
There's
it
a
over
turnover.
there. But Camper nearly loses it. He's diving on the floor, and it's going to be a turnover for the Miners on the other end.
It's got to slow down, grab the ball, come up with the ball first.
Christian Cook, wide open three, off the mark, rebound, loose to Frazier. Frazier good to behind the back dribble. Frazier's going to do it all by himself.
Get up. Coach Golden's out calling them to get up and pick up the pressure.
11-point lead for the Aggies.
Right now, this is at the pace that the Miners want to play. And Coach Hooten talked about it at half. He wanted to control the pace and not let them get out and get any fast break opportunities.
Zadi Jackson now matched up against Otis Frazier. Jackson goes baseline, skip pass in the corner, Bostic for three, bangerang.
Again, penetration is going to cause that. Penetration to the basket, defense sucks in, and they're able to get it out to a guy for a wide open three in the corner.
Deontay Bostic, the 6'2" senior guard out of Clearwater, Florida. Frazier will answer with a three in the corner for him.
Can't keep trading baskets. You're down by 14. You got to get some stops at some point.
3 minutes into this second half, a lot of action here on the floor as the Miners faithful chance defense. Miners need to start getting stops. This is Cook. Picks up his dribble, will get it back out to Jackson with 8 on the shot clock. To Cook for three. You bet. That man is heating up from outside, Christian Cook.
And Corey Camper has got to stay home. I know he wants to help, and he stepped over just a second, just hedged it, stepped up a little bit, and gave him too much room. Cook too much room for the open shot. You can't leave him.
Aggie shooting at a 50% clip right now as Terrell able to get 2 with the finger roll.
Again, they got to stay attached. They got to find Cook, and they've got to stay attached. You cannot help off him.
Miners have figured it out offensively, but have not figured it out defensively. They're going to get a foul on the screen there. Trying to move through the screen there was Kalu, I presume. They're going to get him with the foul.
And here comes Carpenter's another guy who you got to stay attached to, three-point shooter.
For Kalu, it's his second personal. And Bostic will inbound on the baseline. They get Cook, who's trapped in the corner, going to have to get it out to Filipovic, who has it. Top of the key. Ball on the floor, good looking spin move, and he had Kalu on roller skates there.
Getting the Miners spread out because the Miners are trying to get out and pass the lanes and deny. They're spreading them out and just attacking off the bounce.
Terrell behind the back, good show, and then trying to go up and under, and no, but we'll get 2 at the line as we have hit the first media timeout of the second half. 14-point game here at the Don Haskins Center. Aggies lead at 50-36. Point lead for the Aggies, 50-36, our score here in the second half. Bobby, you mentioned it, trading baskets. That's what these two teams have done. Each squad 3 of their last 3 from field goal range. 4 of 6 for the Miners in this second half. 5 of 6 are the Aggies.
And the Aggies have one extra three, one more three than the Miners have. And again, that's key to the game. We talked about them taking those threes away. Now the Miners need to step up. Terrell needs to step up and knock down these free throws. So
sophomore guard Terrell knocks down the first one. 58% coming into this one from the free throw line. Averages 7 points a game for the Miners.
And that's a good sign.
11.
He missed his only 2 in the first half, so he knocks those down. That's a good sign.
Yeah, and just like that, Terrell with 12 points. That's a team high for the Miners. Looking to get a stop here defensively. This is Bostic.
They're switching that wing ball screen. They were blitzing it in the first half of the game. Double teamed it. They switched it this time.
Bostic.
Again, isolation.
Yeah, trying to clear it out. Filipovic for 3. Bangarang.
Listen, the Miners did everything right on that one. That's the guy you want shooting threes. He's shooting 21% on the season, and he knocks down that 3. You got to live with that one.
This is Camper. Camper attacking. Trying to go for 2 off the glass. No. Filipovic the rebound. Gets it to Cook. Cook pulls up for 3. Just short with that one. Camper ahead to Terrell. Miners trying to run numbers here. Instead, they're going to back away. This is Bynum now. Bynum will shoot a 3. It goes begging. Loose ball. And Bostic has the rebound for the Aggies. And here comes New Mexico State. Wide open. Thank you very much. Carpenter has the easy 2. Timeout Miners.
And that looked like a rebound that the Miners should have had. Everybody stood around and watched. And it ended up getting to the Aggies. And the Aggies are running.
And there is a group of about, I'd say about 100 or so Aggie fans in this northwest corner. And they love every bit of what they're seeing right now from their squad. Otherwise, largely, you can hear just about anything in this arena. What was once a loud crowd is kind of settled into their seats now during this lull.
That's one of the things we used to tell our teams anytime we went into a hostile environment like this, sell-out crowd. We used to challenge our guys and say, hey, let's see if we can silence this crowd. Let's see if we can hear the silence. And that's what they're doing right now. They've, again, taken control of this basketball game, and the Miners, they've got to keep fighting. There's still plenty of time left in this game, Andy.
Aggies shooting 52% for the game, 78% from the floor. And these first 5 minutes plus of the second half, they're seeing just about everything fall. 3 players in double figures right now for the Aggies, led by Peter Filipovic. 13 points, 6 rebounds for him. Deontay Bostic has 12 points. And Robert Carpenter, who you just saw forcing that Miners timeout, has 11 points off the bench.
Again, they're doing it the hard way, too. They're locking in defensively. They're getting stops, securing the rebound. And what we saw in that last possession was they just kicked the ball out, pitched to the head, and all 4 Miner guys, 4 Miner players were standing back there in the backcourt while that was going on.
Aggies out rebounding the Miners now 26-14. Another key stat there. Points in the paint. New Mexico State nearly with 30 of them. They outscoring the Miners in the paint 28-16. And they've made 5 of their last 6 from the field.
And Coach Golden's challenging his regular group. He's brought in a younger squad,
yeah,
with KJ Thomas and Trey Horton and Elijah Jones, who came in early in the first half and gave him some good energy.
Yeah, this is an interesting 5 that Golding is going with Horton, Thomas, Jones, Bynum, and Barnes.
4 guards and 1 athletic big. And you see if they can get this game sped up in the right direction, get some defensive stops, make some plays, and go the other way.
Certainly an athletic big, too, who can stretch you a little bit offensively. He's a guy that has been known to put up a 3 or 2 and actually knock him down as well. Elijah Jones shooting 50% from 3 this season as the inbound goes to the freshman KJ Thomas.
Let's see what the Miners run out of this timeout.
Yeah, they got to go to work here.
Pinned
Thomas,
down with a flare
Horton,
for Trey Horton.
3, money.
Wow, we've been waiting for that. Great play out of the timeout. Little flare screen for Trey Horton. He knocks it down. He's a guy capable of get going.
Trey Horton with a Silky stroke right there. For the Miners, they got to figure it out defensively. This is Bostic trying to get it to Cook. He's denied. Now on the wing, cross-court pass, and that is going to be blocked by Barnes. No, they're going to say that's a foul. Foul the jump shooter there, and I believe you're going to get 3 free throws here.
I couldn't see it. I was blocked out. Coach Hooten had me blocked out, so I didn't see it. Ooh.
Maybe got a little bit of the hand there. I don't know.
Hard to tell from that angle. He sold it, so he deserves it.
Jaden Harris to shoot through 3, makes the first. 73% from the line is the 6'4" senior guard out of Atlanta, Georgia. 3 points in this one. He averages 5.5 points per game on the season. And he's going to get there nearly with just this trip to the line here.
It's a tough foul. 3 free throws. He makes all 3 of them.
Connects on all 3. So another 16-point lead matches the largest lead of the game for the Aggies. Thomas to Jones. Jones in the corner now. This is Bynum. Bynum ball on the floor, kicks it back out to Horton. Horton shot fake. Now is going to set a screen and a foul there on Carpenter.
They call that action a little hammer action. They're running for Horton to get him open. So again, clearly the Miners are attempting to get the ball to Trey Horton when they can.
Trying to chip away at that 16-point lead. Barnes trying to go baseline. He draws another foul. This one will be called on Cook.
Devin Barnes is a smart player. He knows they're going to overplay him. They've been overplaying him on the 3, and he's putting his head down and just attacking. He's drawing fouls.
The second foul called on Cook. Horton, open 3 look. And it rattles out. And the rebound to Carpenter.
That thing did everything but go in.
Aggies have it here with Filipovic. Now to Cook. Cook will eat a little shot clock.
They're going to try to post Filipovic up on Barnes.
Hooten's waving him off now. They want isolation with Cook. Cook working against Jones. Cook denied, but now the turnaround jumper, and he is true. Denied it first, and then just used that mid-range jump game.
He's just a professional scorer. That was pretty good defense by Elijah Jones. Not much more he could have done with that one.
Barnes trying to come up with 2 on the other end in transition. No, this is Carpenter for 3, and it is off the mark, but Filipovic has another offensive rebound. However, he'll turn it over, but now Abad Bynum turns it over. Filipovic inside, 2 off the glass. No, Carpenter the tip in.
Again, just relentless. The Aggies are just relentless on the boards right now, making the tough plays.
It's a 20-point lead for New Mexico State. Bynum has it now. Bynum will put up a 3, and it's off the mark, and the rebound to Cook, and the Miners not getting good looks right now, and the Aggies making just about everything they put up.
Again, that's not a great offensive possession. Ball never moved out of Bynum's hand, and defense is locked in. Easy to contend that.
This is Cook now working against Horton, picks up his dribble, trying to get it inside to Carpenter, able to do so, and the big man Carpenter with an easy 2 over Barnes.
Don't be fooled. Carpenter he's one of their go-to guys. Even though he's coming off the bench, he's a guy that can score inside, outside.
Robert Carpenter, a starter on this team to begin the season, has taken on a role as that 6-man off the bench, and he has excelled in that role. He's got 15 points in 16 minutes. Aggies.
You can see it in their eyes.
Yeah, they lead it by 22. 22-point lead for New Mexico State. They're on a 9-0 run over the last 2.5 and have taken control of this basketball game from the Miners.
Yeah, I tell you, I know Coach Golden wants to try to do something to get his team energized right now, and he brought in a smaller group, a little bit more athletic. But the Aggie size kind of overwhelmed them a little bit. And again, they're still a little bit small here. If we look at them right now, they still got a smaller lineup in, and Filipovic and Carpenter are both in the game, and that can be a danger zone for sure.
The inbound will go to KJ Thomas, who's seen some extended minutes here in the second half. Gets the screen from Kalu. In the corner now is Baylor Hebb. Baylor Hebb up and under, no. And the rebound pulled down by Harris.
Did everything right except finish it. Made a nice move, Euro step, missed the layup.
Filipovic, ball on the floor, dishes it to Carpenter. Don't you very much.
Miners are confused right now by how they're guarding ball screens. They had two guys run into each other and opened up that play from the very beginning.
Thomas to Hebb, back to Thomas now on the wing. Kalu, top of the key to Barnes. This is Thomas now attacking the rim. Right hand, no. Offensive rebound, Kalu tried to put it up, wanted the foul. Didn't get it. Now you got a tie-up, but it's going to be Carpenter who wins that battle. And it's Aggie ball.
Again, the Aggies are on an 11-0 run over the last 3 minutes and 23 seconds.
Yeah, Miners haven't scored in the last 4 minutes as Filipovic with the left hand able to finish.
They're just playing ISO ball right now. Each guy, they're getting the matchup they want, and Filipovic just ISO, attack the paint.
26-point lead. Certainly not what we expected coming into this game, as Barnes is going to be fouled. He'll shoot 2. Of course, these two teams, a storied rivalry. Back in Conference USA, or I should say, in Conference USA was the Aggies last year, their first year in Conference USA. First time that these two programs, these two rivals have been in the conference, same conference in a long time. They split the series last year with both teams winning at home. And the Aggies fixing here, looking good at this point to get a road win here at the Don Haskins Center.
Yeah, they came out with a little fire in their eyes, and again, they feel good about where they are right now in the conference, even though if you look at their overall record, it didn't look great. But being 2-0 in the conference with a chance to go 3-0, get a road game against your rival, you couldn't ask for anything more.
You talk to a lot of people within this conference of New Mexico State. Hey, has New Mexico State, of the Aggies, have they figured something out here, or they maybe get La Tech and Sam Houston at the right time? And no, you talk to people around the conference, they say this Aggie team has figured something out within their rotation, that switch in the starting lineup, Carpenter coming off the bench, and Filipovic giving him quality minutes inside.
Well, and what they've also done, Andy, they've done a great job in the portal. They went in the portal and brought in 11 new guys. Experienced guys are starting 5 seniors, so they're a veteran group.
If you remember, this is for head coach Jason Hooten, just his second year, and this was, make no mistake about it, this was a total rebuild last season for the Aggies. Of course, last season they finished 13-19, 7-9 in Conference USA play. They get 3 of those guys back, and as you mentioned, Bobby, 11 guys in the portal, and they're just starting to kind of find each other, mesh together really, really well.
Well, these guys are veteran guys. These guys know how to play. The schools they left, they were pretty good basketball players, and they went in the portal, and they wanted an opportunity to play, and again, they're taking advantage of the system, the way the system is.
Good looking floater there that David Terrell was able to get, and then you have a foul on the box out. So count the basket, and then the Miners.
A chance for a 4-point play.
Yeah, with that being the 7th team foul against the Aggies. I think this is going to be Camper to shoot 1-1. Hooten doesn't like it. Now you're going to get a conversation here from the officials.
Camper was the one that shot it, and so I think there's some confusion who the actual free throw shooter should be. So the refs are going to take a look at it.
Take a look at the replay here.
Or it was actually Terrell who actually shot it.
Terrell shot it, and I think the foul was called on Carpenter. You see there,
should be Otis
on
Frazier. Should be Otis Frazier at the free throw line.
Yep, they got 2-3 up. So it'll be Frazier to shoot 2. 11 points on the night for Frazier, 4 of 8 from the field. This is his first trip to the line, which is somewhat surprising. He's a guy that you like to see attack and get to the line.
Yeah, he's, man, didn't start off great for him. Very first possession of the game after a steal, he missed a dunk and kind of affected him a little bit. But listen, he's in double figures. It's the 7th straight game he's been in double figures. He's doing all the little things that he needs to do. Just happens. You're not going to have it every game.
Frazier able to make both the free throws right there. Inbound goes to Cook, who is guarded by Hebb. Baylor Hebb, the transfer out of Colorado State, getting some minutes here for the Miners.
Again, can the Miners get a kill here? Can they get 3 consecutive stops and give themselves a chance to get back in this basketball game?
10 on the shot clock. Cross-court pass goes to Jackson. Jackson, mid-range jumper, smooth.
And again, he's not a guy that's necessarily looking to be a scorer.
Camper, no. Loose ball, controlled by the Aggies. And here come the Aggies now in transition. This is Jackson, who's going to be fouled by Hebb.
Tough foul there. I think Baylor lost his footing there.
Love to see the hustle from Hebb getting down the floor. A Texas native there, and saw Jackson just kind of slowed up there right at the top of the key.
That's the one in the NBA they don't let guys do anymore. They call that an offensive foul when you move in the lane of the defender.
This is Filipovic, has it poked out of bounds by Frazier, and it'll stay with the Aggies, much to the chagrin of Frazier.
Frazier's asking for a look at the replay. Unfortunately, they don't have that in college basketball.
Bostic is back in. Filipovic checks out. He's got 15 points as he heads to the bench.
17 seconds on the shot clock. See if they can finish this possession with a stop.
Inbound goes to Carpenter. Frazier working against him. Carpenter putting his head down. Too close to the basket. The miss, and then the Aggies throw it away.
Again, the Miners did a good job defensively there, but you look up, all 5 guys or 4 guys are running down the floor, and they don't have the possession yet. Got to secure the ball first.
69-46 our score. New Mexico State leading big. This is Frazier, back to Terrell. Terrell now has Hebb. Hebb looking to get inside on Carpenter. Hebb, tough take, will go to the line and shoot 2.
Smart play by Baylor. Just puts his head down, attacks the rim, throws himself at the defender, and draws the foul.
I think if you're the Miners right now, that's kind of the blueprint, right? Try and score with the clock stopped, down by this many.
That's one of the things, and get some stops on the other end, force some turnovers, and get some easy baskets, some quick baskets. Haven't been able to do that all night.
Hebb makes his first from the line. 6'2", senior guard out of Colleyville, Texas, making his 10th appearance for the Miners tonight.
And again, in 32 minutes, the Miners have only forced the Aggies into 7 turnovers, which is just not normal for them.
Not them. Came into this game leading the nation in forcing turnovers at 19 per game. Aggies have done a great job keeping the basketball safe as Christian Cook nearly loses his footing.
Baylor Hebb did a good job. Baylor Hebb did a good job on the ball. Again, there's another loose ball.
Controlled by the Aggies, and Cook has the stroke.
3 Miners running the other way, don't have the ball, and it ends up in the Aggies' hands and the wrong guy, and Christian Cook.
And the Miners with another empty possession offensively. Filipovic the rebound.
Aggies slowing things down a little bit.
24-point lead with 7.5 to go.
Little chip screen.
Strong take by Jackson. Almost felt like it was uncontested. Hebb trying to get in transition. Skip to Mailou, and he's got 2 with the floater.
Good move again. Baylor's playing really well here, these few minutes that he's getting. These are important as you continue to play games throughout conference.
Still 7 minutes to play, but the Miners have quite the mountain to climb. 12 on the shot clock for Jackson. Jackson working against Barnes, dishes it to Cook. Cook, ball on the floor, steps back for three, and it rattles out. Camper the rebound. Up ahead to Heb. Heb, cross-court pass to Terrell, three ball in the corner, good.
Baylor Heb's playing some really good minutes here, Andy. Making plays for his teammates, made some plays for himself, and is playing hard defensively.
There you're gonna get a cheap foul on Terrell.
I think he was trying to get to the ball before the referees granted the timeout. Timeout was coming.
The media timeout. Aggies lead it 74-53, our score here at the Don Haskins Center.
And said that his team, his players have really matured since the preseason. Now they're starting to understand everything that plays in to being successful. That means from taking care of your body to then steadying film, and his statement is for sure about being backed up by his players' actions right now. Now the Miners, this is no shock to the Miners how the Aggies are playing. They were aware of how productive they are in the three-point line. It's definitely showing right now. Now Robert Carpenter playing at the 5 has really been hurting the Miners, so they're gonna have to find a quick answer here in the next 6 minutes of this game.
B, thank you. Aggies shooting at a 55% mark for the game. They're shooting 68% in the second half. It's those high percentage shots that they're getting in the paint, outscoring the Miners 40-20.
Again, I think they came into this game knowing how UTEP plays and tried to take advantage of the pressure, get them spread out a little bit, and attack off the bounce. And they've been able to get in the paint and get some easy shots. And then the second shots is another reason why they've outscored them the way they've done from the paint. Again, here's an example of it. Attack off the dribble.
Jackson, what a tough shot there. Hooten wanted the and one on foul on Jones. Doesn't get it, but Jackson with two on a tough take. Bynum nearly loses it. Instead, throws up a shot, doesn't go. Cook the rebound, and he'll slow things down offensively for the Aggies as they will continue to milk the shot clock.
I'll tell you what, I can't really think of anything the Aggies have done wrong this game. They've been able to control pace, tempo. They haven't fouled the Miners. They've attacked the glass. They've really played an outstanding game.
This is tough shot there by Harris. Hooten didn't like the shot selection, but hey,
he liked
all
the
is
result.
good that ends well.
Coaches, we do that.
Yeah.
We like the result.
Miners, another empty possession on the offensive end. So you got much of this sellout crowd beginning their way towards the exits. Not the results any Miner fan coming to this one was certainly hoping for. We certainly thought it was going to be a closer game than the one that we saw here tonight.
Well, listen, all in all, it's just one basketball game. After this one's over, the Miners are still going to be 2-1, second place in conference, and have a chance to regroup, learn from it, and get better.
Jackson there with the three ball. He's now got his total up to 16 points in this game. A lot of offensive output here as Elijah Jones for three is off the mark. And with 4 minutes to play, the Aggies content just milking the shot clock, and the Miners, they look deflated out there.
Yeah, rough game. Didn't go the way they had hoped to go. But again, as I said before, you can always learn something. You know, some people say you just burn the film and forget about it. Then there's another train of thought is, you know what? Make them watch it, learn from it, show it. The eye, we have this saying, the eye in the sky doesn't lie. So the camera's picking up everything that's going on. They can learn from it.
Aggies lead at 81-53 as they continue to pour it on. A 28-point lead is their largest lead of this basketball game. 4 players in double figures for the Aggies, led by Robert Carpenter, who leads all scorers with 17 points. Zadi Jackson, 16 points in this one. Peter Filipovich has 15 points. Christian Cook, the low man, with 12 points of those who have double figures. Things are going right when you got those 4 guys all scoring in double figures.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Houghton has to be pleased with his team because they've played solid basketball on both ends of the floor. Defensively, offensively, they've gotten what they wanted, and they've just done it the right way. And like I said, you know, obviously, it wasn't a fluke what they did to La Tech.
No.
This is a good basketball team.
Yeah.
They're well coached, and I think they were picked to finish 7th in the conference. They won't be finishing 7th, believe me. They're a good basketball team.
How about this? If they are able to extend this lead, a 30-point win over La Tech. Right now they're up 28. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
Of course, you got both of these head coaches very familiar with each other, and Jason Houghton and Joe Golding. Of course, they first crossed paths when Houghton was the head coach at Sam Houston. Golding was at Abilene Christian. Their days playing, of course, in the Western Athletic Conference as head coaches. This is actually the 22nd meeting between Houghton and Golding, and yeah, you might have guessed it. Houghton, he's got the edge in this series. 15-6 record against Golding since 2013, 2014, and that'll go up to 16-6 against his good friend. They go back, heard them talking earlier in the week, they go back all the way to the 90s, a good friendship that Houghton and Golding has kind of fostered here.
Yeah, good friends when they're off the court. When they're on the court and they're competing against each other, there's no friendship, no love lost, for sure. Jason Houghton's a good coach. Joe Golding's a good coach. And they both have 2 very good basketball teams that are going to be fighting for the top of this league when it's all over.
Jackson to shoot 2. He's got the first. As here you got the mass substitutions coming in for the Aggies as they kind of call off the dogs here.
Well, you got to be smart. You don't want anybody to get hurt. This game is over. This game is done. Give some guys a chance to play. Coach Golding's doing the same thing. And again, as I said before, there's no such thing as garbage time. There's a chance for guys like Baylor to step out on the floor and show what they can do. And some of these young guys for the Aggies can do the same.
Yeah, for the Aggies, it's Gabe Pickens on the floor, Jacoby Osborne on the floor, Carl Scherenfant on the floor, as well as Deontay Bostic still out there for the Aggies. As Ahmad Bynum puts up the 3, no. Rebound Thomas. Horton now trying to get it back out to Jones, and you're going to get the foul called there on Shimanga.
Jumped up in the air and fortunately left his feet. The guy didn't get there before he left his feet.
Now you have Xavier Johnson, transfer out of UTSA, coming in. He'll check in for Bostic, who will come off. Bostic checks out with 12 points, also pulled down 4 rebounds and 3 assists in this game. Is lead down to 29 now with the first make there by Horton.
Coach Houghton's really pleased with this effort, obviously, but you can see the interaction he's having with his players as they come off the floor. They feel good, had a game
Embracing
plan.
each other.
Yeah, had a game plan and saw it through, and the guy stepped up.
Remember, these are travel partners within Conference USA, so both of these 2 teams are going to see the same opponents next week. For the Aggies, we'll start with them. They'll travel to South Florida in a matchup against FIU. That'll happen on Thursday, game that'll be shown on ESPN+, and they'll follow that up with a game at Liberty, who Liberty got off to a slow start in conference play, but they've come back strong in recent.
And that's when the friendships kick in. I'm sure they'll be sharing information when you're on the road. You share information with your travel partner after every game.
Take a look at some scores across Conference USA. The big matchup, in addition to this one, was Liberty playing Louisiana Tech. And La Tech able to come up with a much-needed win. They go 2-0 on the week after going 0-2 against these two teams.
This thing is a long way from over, this conference.
Yeah.
A lot of good teams.
Wide open.
Teams got to go on the road and play and win. The Aggies did that tonight. They went on the road and won. UTEP has done what they needed to do. They needed to win their home games except for this game tonight. So they're going to have to go steal one on the road this next week.
So you had La Tech beating Liberty 79-74 today. Middle Tennessee got a win over Jack State. Sam Houston got another win over FIU 81-74. And Western Kentucky defeated Kennesaw State 85-69. So just 2 one-loss teams in Conference USA after this one. That'll be UTEP and Middle Tennessee. And New Mexico State, the Aggies will remain the only unbeaten in the conference, moving to 3-0 as they pick up their 10th win here. A sellout crowd at the Don Haskins Center. Corner 3 for Baylor Hebb off the mark. And the rebound pulled down by Sharon Font. 30 seconds to play, 25 on the shot clock for the Aggies, who will dribble this thing out.
And the Aggie faithful are celebrating behind us.
Yep.
They're excited, well-deserved win. And the Miners, it's about getting in the film room, watching tape, growing, getting better. This definitely was a step back for them, but there's still a lot of basketball to be played.
For New Mexico State, it'll be their 6th straight win, and for the loss for UTEP, it snaps a 6-game win streak. Hebb will inbound to Thomas. Thomas will dribble this thing out, and that is how this one will come to an end as Coach Hooten and Coach Golding shake hands. It's an Aggie win. Final score here tonight at the Don Haskins Center. New Mexico State 85, UTEP 57. And for the Aggies, certainly it was their dominance inside, out-rebounding the Miners at a high clip, outscoring them in the paint. 4 guys in double figures, all led by Zadi Jackson, who had 18 points, but you can't take away anything from what Robert Carpenter did. 17 points on the game for him, as well as Peter Filipovich nearly had himself a double-double with 15 points and 9 rebounds. Also sharing the basketball with Zadi Jackson. He had a team-high 5 assists in this one. As I am anticipating, we have head coach Jason Hooten, who's going to be standing by with B. Martinez, and I assume it's going to be a really excited Coach Hooten as the Aggie team now comes over to what is their bench in their corner, and the Aggie faithful chanting Aggies here.
That's probably the worst thing about it for the Miner fans, is to have the visiting team on the road celebrating like that, but that's part of it. You learn, like I said, you learn, you grow, you get better. And like I said, there's a lot of basketball left to be played.
New Mexico State has certainly done something. The switch that they have made within their starting 5 has made a huge difference, with Carpenter coming off the bench, playing the 5.
You can trace that back. You can trace the success back to Carpenter being inserted in the lineup.
And I believe we have B. Martinez, who's standing by with Robert Carpenter. And let's send it over to B, who is with Robert Carpenter. A big game for Mr. Carpenter, B.
All right, well, I'm here with Robert Carpenter. Robert, I mean, you played you're a huge asset to this team. You come off the bench, and I remember Coach saying, you know, you don't mind coming off the bench. You want to do whatever it takes to help this team win. Just overall thoughts on just your game tonight.
I just came in with energy. I just want to feel my team. They bring energy to me, so I just want to continue to feel them with my energy coming off the bench or doing whatever role I have to do. So to take whatever it takes to win, that's what I do.
What do you think really did it for you guys against this UTEP team? You guys were pretty equal overall, but you guys just completely dominated. But just what do you think did it for you guys?
I say effort. Everybody played good. Everybody played hard. I say also we all just stuck together, keep on sticking together like glue. And you know it's hard to take away glue when it's already hardened. So I say the best thing for us, we just got to keep on going and stay humble, because you never know, we might face adversity, but we got to learn how to fight through that and learn from our mistakes.
You guys are now 3-0. Just what does it mean to you to be so early on in the season? I know you guys still have a lot of left in the season, right? But to start off 3-0 here, just what does it mean to you?
It's a big thing, but at the same time, we take it as this is only the beginning. We have a lot more basketball to play. We have a lot more things we can improve on. So we're humble at the same time, but we understand what the agenda is.
All right, Robert, thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
B, thank you very much. I assume it is going to be quite the happy bus trip up I-10 North after New Mexico State hands the Miners their first conference loss. 85-57, our final here from the Don Haskins Center. For Bobby Braswell, B. Martinez, I'm Andy Morgan, and our entire staff here at ESPN Plus saying so long for the Don.